say that you wanted to go to a professional wrestling event. It doesn't matter if it's WWE, AEW, or maybe one of your independent wrestling shows in your area. You spend your hard earned money to go to a wrestling show, hang out with some of your friends that are there, watch good live wrestling in hopes that it will take you away from some of the hardships and struggles and stresses that you have in your life. And right in the middle of this show, maybe you're watching one of your favorite matches of the night. Some drunk, obnoxious fan decides to jump over that barricade, get in the ring, and disrupt things. Only to see that drunk, obnoxious fan get his ass beat and taken away by the cops in handcuffs. Sometimes it happens like that. As a former professional wrestler who was in the business for 20 years, I did see a lot of crazy stuff with fan interaction, if you will. And any fan who's watching this video, if you love professional wrestling, you are a fan of it, please don't get involved with the matches. Please, I implore you, please don't do that. These men and women are trained to protect themselves in the ring. They literally put their lives and bodies on the line each and every single time they are in that ring. So for somebody to come out of the crowd and disrupt things while they're trying to do their job to entertain us, well, let's be honest. It's about the douchiest thing that you can do. But there have been people who are brave enough, or in this case, stupid enough, to actually jump that barricade and cross that line. I'm Talon Williams. This is Movement Radio, and these are the 5 times that fans attacked professional wrestlers. Let's begin. So, the first instance in a fan interaction that we're going to talk about today is something that took place in the summer of 2006 at a TNA taping in Orlando, Florida, when this drunk, obnoxious wrestling fan wearing a baby blue replica Rey Mysterio mask was being taunted and goaded by his buddies in the front row to jump the barricade, get in the ring, and try to have a confrontation with then NWA heavyweight champion Jeff Jarrett. The man proceeds to jump the barricade, gets on the apron, and then by the time he gets to the apron, Jeff Jarrett is already there throwing punches at him. The guy then tries to enter the ring, and he continuously get punches thrown at him. And then Earl Hebner comes and tries to pull off the guy. They're still throwing punches. Then here comes security. And then here comes Cowboy James Storm. And then here comes Samoa Joe. And then here comes a bunch of other people trying to separate. But I think James Storm, Samoa Joe, and Jeff Jarrett were all about teaching this guy a lesson that you shouldn't jump into the ring. After that happened, the guy was taken away in handcuffs. I think he posted $1,500 bond. And if I'm not mistaken, he was banned from coming back to any more TNA events at Universal Studios. So, yeah, this is a typical case of even if your friends are egging you on, tell them shut up, sit there, enjoy your beer, and enjoy the wrestling show. Now, it's one thing if a fan comes at you and attacks you from the front because at least you can see them coming. But if you decide to attack a wrestler from the back, aka what I like to call a bitch move, then yeah, you definitely ain't going to get any respect for that. What makes you think you get stripes for that? Anyway, so back on April 9th of 1999 at a Thunder taping in Tallahassee, Florida, Raven was in the ring in the corner slumped doing his normal promo, fixing to have a match with Chris Jericho. And then all of a sudden, this fan jumps out of nowhere, grabs Raven by the scruff of his neck in the back of his hair and yanks him out of the ring when Raven wasn't looking. Raven, believing that it was Chris Kanyon because that's who he was in a current angle with, went with it. And it wasn't until after the fact that security had bum rushed this guy that Raven got up, brushed the hair off, looked down, and you could definitely tell that he was embarrassed by this. He grabbed the microphone, got back in the ring, grabbed his United States Championship, and began to cut the promo again, only to realize that the microphone was damaged when he was pulled out of the ring. So, yeah, a very embarrassing moment for Raven, and possibly the guy who decided to pull him. Why he decided to do it, I don't know, but apparently from what we understood, that guy was banned from every single WCW event for the rest of his life. Of course, it only lasted 2 years, but hey, it is the nature of the business. So in the year 2019, the WWE decided to induct the Hart Foundation into the Hall of Fame, consisting of Hall of Famer Bret the Hitman Hart and Bret Hart's late tag team partner Jim the Anvil Neidhart. At the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, Bret Hart, along with Natalya, who is the daughter of Jim Neidhart, were in the ring giving their speeches. And at that point, a fan wearing a Rastafarian hat with fake dreadlocks decided to jump into the ring and tackle Bret Hart in the middle of his speech, only to realize that the surrounding area of the ring were a bunch of professional wrestlers, and about 15 to 16 of them decided to jump on this guy immediately to make sure that Bret Hart and Natalya were okay. Thankfully, they both were okay. And as the guy was being dragged away from the ring and being dragged out of the arena kicking and screaming, Cash Wheeler of the Revival, or FTR, decided to throw a couple of extra punches in the guy's face just to make sure that he gets the hint that what you did was a very bad thing. The guy was set for $2,500 bond, and he was never allowed to go back to the Barclays Center for any other sporting event. Poor guy. So back in 1999, Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin just finished an amazing main event at a house show in Berlin, Germany as part of WWE's European Invasion Tour. But after the match was over with, a fan decided to jump into the ring. But he didn't go after Triple H like the typical, fan would go after the bad guy. No, he decided to go after Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, that Stone Cold Steve Austin, the WWF champion, top babyface in the company, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And in that moment, Triple H had a decision to make. So when the guy jumped in the ring and basically made a beeline for Austin, Triple H wrapped his arms around his waist and decided to dump the guy on top of his head. By this point, referees and security are in the ring trying to pull the guy out of the ring, but not before Triple H decided to get one last little punching on the guy just to let him know, hey, you ain't going to attack anybody. If anybody's beating up Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's going to be me, not you. So the last entry on tonight's list is actually a match from May 23rd of 2002. It was a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship as Eddie Guerrero and Rob Van Dam vied in this ladder match. And yeah, it was an unbelievable match. I mean, it's Eddie Guerrero and Rob Van Dam in a ladder match. It's going to be a great match. However, closer towards the end of the match, Eddie Guerrero was climbing the ladder to get the Intercontinental title. And then all of a sudden, a fan comes out of nowhere wearing a giant hockey jersey and decided to grab the ladder and push the ladder over. Eddie Guerrero, thinking quickly, decided to jump off of the ladder at the last possible second, land on his feet, and he was under the impression that it was Crash Holly because the guy looked very similar and he was wearing something similar to what Crash was wearing earlier in the day. That being said, the moment Eddie realizes that it's not Crash Holly and it's a fan, he decided to throw at least one punch in there before security and referees pull the guy away. At the end of the day, nobody was incredibly hurt by this, and Rob Van Dam ended up winning the Intercontinental title or keeping the Intercontinental title. And yeah, but to the guy who decided to get in the ring, and why would you push the ladder? Why would you think that that would be a good idea? The guy was obviously banned from coming back to any more wrestling events in the area and probably possibly banned from the area entirely. So yeah, don't do that, guys. Well, there you have it, guys. 5 instances where professional wrestlers were attacked by fans. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want some more content like this, let us know down in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. What was a moment that you remember a fan attacking a professional wrestler, and how exactly did that turn out for him? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on all of our social media platforms. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you guys have been giving us. We really do appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed, and we thank you so much. We are really, really grateful for all you fans. Thank you so much. That being said, I'm Talon Williams. This is Movement Radio. God's plan.